Hello, everyone. How you doing today? Back for part 9 of this take a look at the workshop thing. I got some unusual picks this time. Now, one you're looking at right now is really new, which I haven't really done too much of yet. And there's some other new ones I want to take a look at too. So I might do that next week. I kind of want to get some more current things, but I'm also trying to take a look at some past things and look at some different author creations by people that we haven't seen in this video series at least. So the first one here is the Vengeance MKV by Brown Eye, and right off the gates, I really love the shaping on it. I like that subtle angled setup going on, where there's fluctuations in the sides, but it's maintaining a very solid like angle structure to it. That all blends in and matches well, and I think that is a really cool thing. Now, obviously, this is to me, it very much looks like maybe an all-around CV, but combat-oriented. Um, and I love how these side gun turrets are placed too, with the pedestals for the, the turrets kind of sitting up on there with the color difference between like where they're sitting versus the rest of the facade of the ship. It's really cool that way. Interesting how the artillery is embedded as well. Um, Now it looks like that would be designed to fire forward pretty much, and I bet you this is mostly. Well, it's hard to say. It kind of looks like this is a bit of a broadside ship too, so forward and to the sides when flying around. Um, but mainly, it just looks really cool to me. It's just I like that kind of design where it's not trying to, it's keeping like smooth edges with breakups and kind of looking like plating over hull, and that is it's really cool to see. So anyway, I have not toured this ship yet, so I haven't actually toured any of the ones I have for today. Um, so let's take a look here. So it looks like we're going to come in through the hangar over here, and let me do the lighting cue to see what the lighting looks like in here. Okay, a little dark, a little dark. Yeah, maybe I should probably yeah, I'll keep the lights on here for this one. I wasn't sure how this was going to work out here with the interior lightings. Now there is one thing I did notice about this ship. I'll talk about in a second, though. I was looking when looking at the size class, and I think I can explain why it may not have as many lights or things as I bet you the author wanted to have. Um, but yeah, okay. So for function, this one looks very functional. I like the setup around the hangar here. I try to do very similar. Where you got your constructors and your parts. Looks like we've got a series of 4 small constructors over there. 200K. I like the LCD accent. I didn't even have to like look at the cargo bay to say that it's 200K because it says it right there, which is really cool. I should probably dive into some of those LCDs as well, or try to make some. It's a time-consuming, kind of annoying process to make them. Um, I do understand the concept of it though, but I'm still wet behind the ears on doing such more complicated things than I have been doing. Um, yeah, very nice. Very nice. So we got labeled elevators going up to the different floors here, which I love that too. When you're new, like you spawn this ship into the game, like the author may know where everything is, but you don't. And I love it when things kind of guide you through it, so you're not like lost running around in circles, like I don't know where anything is, I don't know how to get through this ship. I like it when it's organized and there's like labeling signs, things like that to tell you, what's going on, kind of where you are. Like I already know what's going to be on these floors when I go over there, so it's not like a surprise as to where I'm going. Um, so anyway, very cool. I like the good location for generators. I like to when you can, if you don't have a dedicated engineering room, and a lot of times I'll do this with ships, especially smaller ships, is the whole point is you wanna keep a solid block away from these, or you'll get heat and radiation or whatever these parts will do. But by putting up in the ceiling, you're walking under it, so you automatically get that separation. So you're not going to fry yourself when you're near those, and it's a great spot to dump some generators, providing you if you have a smaller creation or like a big hangar. I've done that with a number of ships already. It is a nice way to go, or even put in auxiliary bays in the ceiling. But again, looking at like the ceiling and everything on here, it's very well detailed. A lot of breakups. It's not a flat ceiling. Same was done with the floor. Obviously, with floors, you got to keep them level and flat. You can't have blocks going up and down. That screws up docking and everything else. But when you take the time and try to texture everything up and whatnot, definitely it's neat. You don't have a lot of options when doing the floor. You've got a few textures that kind of work, and then you've got, of course, decals. I put quite a few decals in my things too. It's usually not so much that I'm trying to mark off areas. It's just more of just trying to add some details, some more elements to see when you're walking through it. And some white lines occasionally can enhance things, depending how they're used. Anyway, moving on with the ship. Enough of me ranting here. So yeah, it looks like we got well protected parts as well. That's another thing I was looking at. Maybe well, the gravity generators in there. We've got a bit of exposed fuel tanks, but it's under a lot of plating. So yeah, I wouldn't really be too concerned with that at all. And I really don't like trying to seal everything either. That does add a lot of weight to the ship. But if you're going for combat-oriented stuff, you definitely want to prevent chain reaction damage or a fuel tank that gets popped that might be near critical other parts, or chain react to a bunch of stuff and disabling your ship long before it should have been disabled with taking a lot of damage. Just something you can avoid. Of course, there's always a mix between weight and your structure's strength. It's a balancing act you got to kind of play there. All right, so let's go up to the next floor. Hydroponics. Oh yeah, that's neat too. I like the touch inside the elevator. I'm usually a little cheaper with that. I usually throw like decal numbers or something on there, but I do like the LCD idea better, to be quite honest. All right, so let's see. I did make it to... No, I'm at 3. I must have skipped right over hydroponics. There we are. So, okay, so I'm guessing we've got a double set of farms. I would guess there's another one on the other side of the hangar. And looks like we got at least 27 grow plots per side over here, I'd bet. Let me buzz over here. No! Okay, so we only have the 27. It's asymmetrical on the other side. Well, I'm going to have to go to the other side then. Okay, so we've got a server room on this side. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so we've got Wi-Fi. Oh, CPU cores. Makes sense. Server room. Fitting. And looks like maybe a spot for quantum core, auxiliary core, something like that. That's, yeah, server room. I like that. I usually just call it a CPU room, but server room actually technically sounds a little more interesting. All right, so let's go up to floor 3 on this side. Command and quarters. I do love the labeled signs. I do love that. Definitely helps with navigation, especially on a larger creation like this one is. Wow, that's quite a thing going on here. So we've got looks like all kinds of like crew area stuff. Let me guess. Yep, of course the shower and the toilet. Gotta have that. Oh, we got another elevator here going up to more stuff. This looks like it wraps all the way around, so this would be the same kind of on both sides. I do like that though. interesting wall decor using the different different blocks. That is neat. It adds in some detail here. All right, so we've been to hydroponics. We've been to the command deck. And let's go back over here a second and hit, where was that? Let's go up to this area. Okay, so we've got the aft airlock caution weather area. So I assume no oxygen. Okay, so maybe a spot for a drone hatch or escape. All right. And then we're at the bridge of the ship. So yeah, that's it's neat when you can look over like the front of the ship, and we have to fly this around. It looks like you'd be being set back like this too. Definitely helps with combat because you're away from where the ship would most likely be being shot at, or the AI would look at a lot of other targets before trying to shoot at the bridge. So also on the top of the hangar here, obviously we've got this double hangar door set up over here, which is pretty cool for landing stuff in. It doesn't look like there's anything up at the front of the ship. At least I didn't see access from inside. And by looking at the blockwork, I can see that it's there's probably not a lot of space there to put things. Now, when I first spawned it though, I did fly through it real quick, and I did notice something. I was kind of trying to figure out what's in the area of the ship because I felt there's more room, and there is a big open space over here. But and then I was like, I wonder why the author left this space open, because they took so much time to put in, everything else. But then I was like, I bet you it's a size class thing. And then when you hop in the stats on this and you take a look at the size class, yes, I believe the author was absolutely trying to keep this at a size class 5 to the just the limits, 5.50. That's just if you add like one more thing to this, it's going to be a size class 6. So I believe that is the case. But it does have a lot of extra room up here for things. But this is also the front of the ship, which would be, depending on how you're using it in combat, could take the most amount of damage. So that's something I've learned over time too with building like combat ships is, especially if they're a front-oriented attack ship, you're better served by not having anything up there. And then you could fill this in with a lot more, armor and things like that. But it's probably got quite a lot already. It's deep. So I mean, I'm sure this could take just a lot of hits at the front. I do believe if you were attacking from the front, well, it's pretty cool with all the big fixed weapons and the artillery. So this is kind of a bit of a sniper that way. Take out ships with high impact from a distance. But I mean, the AI would have to destroy a ton of stuff before disabling the ship. It would have to, it'd be a kind of a battle I wouldn't want to take any ship into because that's just too much damage. It's too costly. The battle's not worth it when if you're gonna take that much kind of damage, where you got like huge repair bill or whatnot. It's just probably not worth the fight. Maybe bring your buddies and come back and hit whatever you're attacking with more ships at once, so everybody takes a lot less damage. That'd be that would be my way to do it, unless of course you're solo player. Then then you got to do what you got to do. Maybe hit and runs. But no, very very cool ship. Definitely like this one. This one will be all of them will be in the video description with the Steam links. So the next one I wanted to take a look at is an unusual one, and this one here is the Emerald Dragon by Fuji. And the author hit me up just a little bit ago and asked if someone or myself was willing to try to convert this into a Scar creation for the function of being a like an AI POI type of ship. interesting concept. So I wanted to take a look at it to see what was here. Now, first, very artistic on this one, making a dragon out of blocks and noticing the transparent wings, very large wings. That's really cool how that was done. Um, I'm sure it's pretty expensive on size class, and this doesn't actually. I mean, for function-wise, these wings don't do anything for you except slow you down because it's gonna be a lot of weight there. But um, you know, this was designed to look like a dragon, and it does. So that's what it was about. As in Scar, that's the thing with Scar. The whole lure behind Scar is that they are wastelanders. Basically, you know, think tattooey kind of people, where they the equipment they have was salvage. You know, they might have blown up some ships or taken over some old buildings or whatnot, and then they grab all that stuff and the metal and the chunks and the parts, and they patch things together. Also in Lure, they have a defector from the MCRN named William Scar, who started the faction in the first place, who was actually a top spaceship engineer. So he actually knows what he's doing, but he's dealing with you know, salvage and things like that, escaping from the law. And that just lore. It was trying to explain what the Scar is, how they came to be. He escaped Mars, which would be their home planet, and he went out to an outer a planet with like no security, a lot of tribal stuff going on, a place to disappear from the law. And then he basically managed to unite some tribes and form the Scar faction. And of course, he's a big time enemy with the MCRN, fairly neutral with the humans, and everybody's an enemy of the Creel. Um, so that's how that goes. Now this, God, you know, it's a cool design, but I don't know if it would be fitting for Scar. It's just I don't, you know, with the lure of what I was trying to explain, I don't know if that would be a thing. However, I mean, this would be kind of a really interesting AI ship. Almost, I think it would work better as a Creel, especially an Elder Creel, going with the more of the dragon kind of theme that I did with at least the Creel Bahamut. Um, so if the author of this is watching that, just I'm just curious on your thoughts because yeah, as in Scar, I mean if I made a lot of changes, it could be a Scar ship, but you know I think what I would want to do is, and I don't want to do that, and that's a thing, but I would probably cut the wings off, which sucks. But then it would be a different ship entirely. Maybe build up some other different kinds of structural pieces over here with thrusters or something. And about that area, I think it would kind of keep the look of it. Um, but I think it would be better served as Creel. So I'm just curious on your thoughts on that. If I mean, it could be Scar too. It could be meant to intimidate, or maybe you know, some welders in the Scar faction there somewhere just wanted to make something unusual and artistic and potentially intimidating. So that could also fit. I'm just thinking about it myself right now. It's just like, yeah, how would I do this? But really, really cool shaping. More of an organic shape, twisty tail, the legs with the claws, flying in the back, the great big wings that would be like semi-translucent. Really, really, really creative. Definitely unique to just about everything I've seen on the workshop. So, very, very cool. Now it does have an interior too. I'm gonna see if I can find a way in here a minute. Take a look at how this goes. Now it's a big ship, takes up half the landing pad, but I don't think it's going to have a super large interior because of the general shape of being kind of a slender dragon in there. Ooh, angled hallway. Angled hallway. See, it, with me, this is a rarity. You don't see many angled hallways at all in Empyrion due to the nature of the blocks and how they work. So I get excited when I see weird angled hallways like this. It's disorienting because you're always used to going at like a 90-degree one way or the other typically, and when you twist everything at a 90-degree angle, it kind of like it takes you a little bit away from that. You're not in a voxel thing necessarily. Oh, this is really interesting back here. So we've got kind of a meeting room back here. So as of a POI though, let's say this didn't move and it was a structure. That could be interesting as well. I don't know. Just trying to think about this. It's a really cool design, but it looks like it's a functional ship, more or less too. We do have a hangar. Okay, so this would be. Is this our cock? No, that's just. Oh, it is. It is a bridge. Okay. We got some retractable turrets coming out here too. Some RCS. I gotta think that it's not allowing you through the rest of the ship unless I'm missing a corridor somewhere. Oh, I must be because I'm seeing rooms up there. So how do we navigate to those rooms? Maybe, okay, that's back out. We've got gravity generator. I'm not sure. Is there a different way to get in here? Yeah, it does look like there's a fair amount of space up here, and it actually... Oh, that's unusual. So we've got a... we got an actual bridge over here. And that's... Oh, there's glass right there. Okay. Wi-Fi. We've got a big generator over there. I must have missed something here, so... Walking through the front part of this. Yeah, there's quite a bit more area in here. So it looks like we've got some fuel, another gravity generator over there. Farm section. Oh yeah, this thing does have a lot of stuff in there. I got an elevator, and that takes us out back to this room. But how do you get from this room to the other part of the ship? Down here. Oh, man, I missed it. It was right off from this bridge here. You go up the elevator on the one side. Okay, I get it now. Anyway, very, very cool design. I will think on that. If there's anyone that would also like to maybe potentially making this into some kind of game content, POI / enemy ship AI controlled or something like that. Let me know. The author was seeking that too, and I said I would try to take a look and see if there's anybody that would be up to the task. And I don't have anything against it being Scar. I just don't necessarily think it would be super fitting with the whole, at least just made up lure. I was trying to make for the Scar. Over time, add a little bit here and there to it, but nothing too serious. And this could be explained even in Scar. Like, yeah, there was a very creative Scar person or group of people that wanted to make a dragon as a emblem or their clan symbol, and then made a spaceship that actually flew that was shaped like a dragon. It could be a lot of things. Anyway, so that is the Emerald Dragon by Fuji. Very cool design. Very creative. Love it. So next here we've got the Kestrel Corsair by filbertfarmer. And that is this guy right here. This one, yeah. Well, filbertfarmer's been around for a bunch. I've seen quite a few of his creations. This one's no exception. Very cool design. What really caught me on this one is I love the cockpit section. in conjunction with the general shaping of the body. With the cockpit, the big angles going this way and then across the top with the matching glass, I think is a really, really cool look. Has that, I don't know, kind of looks, spacey, but plausible. Things like that. Let's find a way in this ship a minute here. And gonna look at the usual locations for doors. Bottom side. I'm not seeing much on the bottom side, but oh, right up front here. Oh, that's cool. So you actually get on the ship at the front of the ship, kind of on the bottom. Interesting. Yeah, let's take a look at what this cockpit looks like. Okay, so this is like a lower section of the cockpit, and it looks like we'd probably go up the flight of stairs over here. Yeah, a lot of detail in here too. Let's do the lighting thing a second. See what we're looking like. Yeah, it's got a lot of character to it. I like that. Now I have seen very little of the insides of like Klingon ships from Star Trek, but I can imagine that this kind of look would be sort of there. Kind of, I like that. I like how it's all kind of color coded, where you got the white along with the reds in here. That's cool. That is cool. So this would be our main cockpit here. I'm going to turn on lighting again. Yeah, I like these kind of views when you're sitting in the pilot seat and you got a canopy of glass structure about like that. That is. Yeah, I'm going to turn off the thrusters. They're awfully loud right now. Okay, there we go. No, that is very cool. Interesting way to get in the ship too. It has it has that it's got a good feel to this. We've got some crew quarters over here, a balcony over there with the shower and toilet. On the one side, it's another more crew area going down that way. Oh, okay. Then we get in kind of like a cafeteria, mess hall, meeting area. Got to have it on a ship. I'm gonna have to do the lighting thing again, because when I see lights in ships, I usually like to look at them in the dark, because you can do a lot of things with lights, and it can change the entire atmosphere of the creation on the inside. Of course, you can't do that very well in broad daylight on a planet, but in space, this is closer to what it would look like. So RCS access lock. Something opened up. Where was that? Not sure where that is. Ah, I bet you right there. I'm seeing a door there. Hold on, let me flip the switch. Yep, there it is. Okay. That's neat. Place to dump an RCS, or, well, in this day and time, could be used for CPU core as well. Infirmary, I like the LCD label there. Okay, a little medical infirmary area, and then we've got another one on the other side here. And here's our full medical suite, plus some extra stuff, and the med station and oxygen and all the parts. And very nice, very nice. We're getting into this room here. Oh, this has got a lot of lighting too. Let me. Oh, I'm still at night. Okay, that's good. When you can walk around a ship too at night and see everything, where you don't need to run your flashlight. I really do not like running a flashlight in the game, looking around. It kind of annoys me. So I like ships just to be naturally lit. But of course, that is going to always cost you size class by doing that. So it depends on the ship. We've got our shield over there. Let's see, hangar door lock. Oh, okay, the ceiling hangar door. Okay, makes a lot of sense. And I'm thinking that would be all of the ship, unless I'm missing something here. But it looks like it's short of the bridge area. It looks to me like it's a single single floor in here. Again, unless I'm missing a corridor. Oh, wait. I am. Take that back. It is not a single floor. Okay, that's cool. Open taxi tank is over there. Walk through this area. Wow, look at all this stuff going on in here too. So this would be our crafting area. We got here 167K, 167K outputs. Looks like two, I'm guessing, advanced constructors. Yep. And, oh yeah, the warp core would be out in front there. Ah, very cool. So yeah, it does have a second floor in here. No, looks really cool. Looks pretty interesting. Let's take a look at the specs. Okay, so size class 4 even. 8 hour and 50-minute build time. I'll have to take a look. Decent barrage of weaponry on it. CPU wise, CPU tier 3, and I'm in Reforged Eden, so this is Reforged Eden tier 3. It fits in there nicely. Looks like it uses just about all it can use for that tier of CPU. But yeah, that is nice. A lot of times with larger ships too, it's pretty easy to jump them up to tier 4 right off the gates. So this one is conscious of all the parts and everything that it's got in it to keep it at tier 3, which is very cool. Very cool. So anyway, really cool design. Again by filbertfarmer, and this is the Kestrel Corsair. Alright, so the next one got here is, this one I picked up on a whim because I thought the screenshot looked really cool, a very shapely ship. And this is the Astoria Science and Exploration Vessel by Mysh. And that is right over here. Let me get the lighting back on. Now this one's an older creation, so I'm not expecting it necessarily to perform well with current game specs and things like this. It's been around for quite some time. Again, I've got the same problem with a lot of my older creations. But what what really caught me on this one was its shape, and in conjunction with the bridge again, or the cockpit on the front. Very, very cool design. So yeah, some pretty interesting block work, nice use of glass. I mean, I wouldn't rate this as any kind of combat ship. It looks like it has, small amount of weapons and things on it, but it's a science vessel, research and science and exploration. So it's not about that. Yeah, cool looking thruster housings. Now, one thing I wish this ship did, because it's such a cool design, nice use of some interesting blocks and things like that, and glass, is although it doesn't look bad the way it is with the texture, and I do wish it did have more texturing going on. And it has some. It has the even like the color differences that are there do help a lot. Accenting the body and things like that, but yeah, it could have more, but maybe with the theme, that's just what it was made out of. I don't know, hard to say there, but anyway, let's take a look inside this. This is one I've seen before and I always wanted to check out because I thought it looked really, really cool, and I'm a sucker for cool looking things. So so let's hop in here, and looks like we've got some, there's a couple lights in here, but I'm not seeing too much. But yeah, the interior shape is really interesting too. Using thin blocks for the walls to match the windows and things like that. Again, this is an older creation, so, but this would be a really neat one if the original author or another ambitious builder wanted to refurb this, you know, really tweak it out, bring it up to today's specs. Although, you know, I didn't even look at the specs, so I could be totally off base on that. Well, I'm in Reforge Eden, and okay, so this is predating. I figured it was predating CPU, probably flight model, things like that. So definitely older, but it is equipped. So we do have our warp core. It's kind of dangerous like this though, and the same thing in conjunction with the thrusters. This is a very high temp zone coming through here. It might have not been that way when this was built, but 757 degrees Celsius I'm sitting at right now is that's harmful. But yeah, very cool bridge. Very cool bridge. You see, that's the thing. I would like to do more shapely glass things. I had some fun on a couple Creel creations with that. There's a lot of combinations and things you can even do with the older glass. In fact, you could probably do more with the older glass than you can with the newer glass due to its thinness and how it can fit together and use angles the newer glass does not allow you to do. But at the end of the day, you know, at least in the regards of combat, it's weak. It's dangerous. It doesn't take much to take this out. The glass does not, even if it's probably armored glass here. I'm thinking doesn't really say, but 1,000 hit points. I gotta assume that's armored glass. I think. It doesn't take that much to destroy the glass, and then if you're right there, bam, game. You know, you can be put out of commission really quickly. That way, but it looks so neat. It looks so neat, and it seems more plausible. But I really love the shaping up here, and the entire ship in general. I think it's just got a really cool shape to it. Nice accents with the side like thruster areas with the I don't know, fins or kind of wing stubs. I don't know what you call that, but it looks cool. Anyway, awesome work on this one as well. And this is, again, by Mysh, the Astoria Science and Exploration Vessel. So next one here, or the last one, this is the Ascalon LS, excuse me, by Zovya. And this is a little bit more recent. I remember seeing this on the workshop not that long ago. But I thought it was a really cool design mixed with some really good coloring. And that is kind of a principle that I keep on trying to develop and learn myself, is the mixing and framing. It's kind of like you've got this big smooth red area, but the way it's portrayed, because it's a different color, and then it's blacked out in between, and then you've got your grays and silvers structure in there. It makes it look like a separate part, like this is a frame, and this is like equipment built into the frame. So think like a motorcycle engine, you know, or something on those lines. And it's a neat look. I've always liked that too. Even when I was kind of building the Tachi replica, it had some of that going on too, and it was kind of a learning experience. I'm like, why does that look so cool? And I was just kind of analyzing the structure of it, and it's like, oh, it's because of how this frame looks with the accents that come out and around it. So I'm just kind of taking a look at this as more of a design aspect. I just think it's a neat, it's a really neat idea, and I do like big, broad, smooth angles or bevels too in the mix. I mean, you break them up now and then, or accents like this being used as a frame with other stuff around it. I think that's a great look. Overall, if you're going, you know, for the artsy side of things, doesn't mean it can't work as a good ship either. Just it's a neat visual thing. And again, like the colored accent lines kind of coming up at an angle over here, because we got a thin layer, a row of thin blocks in front of that, which will create a colored angle there that you could separate and actually have it, you know, flow right. That's a nice little trick there as well, like that. All right, so we're gonna do the lighting here. This one I can definitely tell has some lights in it. So okay, I'm going for the white gray spacey look theme inside of here. So we've got our I've got our hanger here. It looks like a 5x9 hanger door, which is good for most things. Got in here. Let's see, rub repair area for expansion. Why? Interesting LCD. So we've got our warp core over here. It is separated, but yeah, you just got to watch it with warp cores. If this was, and I hate sealing everything too, but the objective that I have been doing on all the ships that I do with warp cores or big parts that make heat is you got to have technically a full block away from where the player can walk. Now that can be problematic if you don't have the space for it, for sure. In this case, maybe it could have. If the stairway was moved here, there was some filler blocks or a piece of something, maybe a little framing that could match the warp core. But basically, the whole point is to keep you so you're one solid block away from it. Because as soon as you get in that range, not that the warp core is super bad, not compared to a thruster, but you will get some heat, quite a bit of radiation though. I like it though, but you know, honestly, it's out of the way. There's no reason to go there unless you're like throwing some extra parts in the room over here. And it kind of looks like it might be kind of set up to add in some more functionality. We've got something, quite a lot of space in here, actually. So it kind of looks like it's more of a free form. If you want some more fuel tanks, pop them in. And that is really cool. And we've got a generator up there. That's well out of the way for any danger of heat or radiation. Same thing on the other side over there. Large constructor. So, you know, I'm starting to think that this is toned down to work at a particular CPU. This is probably for vanilla. So my CPU specs here are probably off, but it's also well, it does use quite a bit of CPU, but I'm not seeing the core block. So maybe the dating on this one. I thought this was more recent, but maybe this was done a while back. I'd have to take a look at exactly when this was released to the workshop here. But, wow, a lot of stuff opened up. You hear that? I don't know how much you hear the sound effects, but yeah, I guess with the headphones I got on right now, the doors and things that are opening are very loud. All right, so we've got some more functionality in here. Looks like a medical suite, fridge, food processors, armor lockers. I like this. Oh wow, so this is kind of like the front lower part of the ship. Nice wooded area, so it completely changed in like theme from the other part of the ship. That's neat too. I love when you walk into a room and it's just like it's different. You know, you get used to seeing like, okay, the ship looks like this. It's using this colors and these kind of general textures, and then you walk into an area and it's like totally different. And nice looking. That's kind of a neat thing. I think it adds character definitely to a ship. It breaks up the monotony, I guess, of seeing the same kind of thing over and over again, but in different configurations. To all of a sudden walking into like, this was made by crafted by a different person, but it's not. And it's really cool the styling in here with that. Let me see if yeah, we do have a balcony. We have a farm. Trying to figure out how. I must have missed the elevator. Yeah, probably right next to me. Of course I did. Yep, and then we've got some grow plots all along here. Looks like the author wanted to get as many as they could in the space that they had for it, which is cool. I mean, it's more practical. So that works out. And let's see. Oh, and then we've got, this was unexpected. So we've got this this ramp door on the front. That's interesting. So it kind of looks like a for a very small SV or something could land here and then jump into the ship right away. Place with wood or something to do with harvesting. Huh, interesting. Let's get up to the bridge over here. Yep, nice bridge. Auto miner locations. Oh, so maybe kind of meant to pick up the loot from the auto miners. Interesting. Oh, and then we've got a nice landing pad on the back of the ship too. Another thing I do quite a bit myself. Reason being, having landing pads on ships is really cheap because you need a ceiling anyway. But it does force you to make that ceiling flat. So sometimes a visual side effect because, but for function. And this big angled area here actually looks like you could pretty easily land a ship at an angle here too, on that part of it, which is kind of an interesting concept. Anyway, a lot of cool ideas in there. Let's take a look at the specs. Well, I think we have determined that the CPU wasn't. It would need some CPU blocks. It does have one RCS installed. Not a problem. Doesn't have any guns, so it's not. It's more or less to fly around and pick up auto miners and bring a couple, bring some vehicles with you, or SVs or HVs with you. A lot of fuel for a pretty long run. Size class 2, just about size class 3. Low build time and build cost on it. So anyway, very cool. Very cool. So that is the creations I wanted to show this week. I'll do one more update on the projects I've been working on, the MCRN 258, which I'll just call it for now. And, you know, I was half tempted to just release it with that name and put in the little description inside the ship that the players name it themselves and just put a name on the side. However, there's been a couple suggestions for names and comments, which I'm definitely thinking about too. But I'm just curious, how would you feel if it was just called the MCRN 258? You have 8 characters, up to 8 characters, to just use really quick decals to, if you wanted to give it a name, you know, like anything you want. Interesting idea. I thought of that too, and I was just like, yeah, I'm stressing over the name, but it's kind of like I've been calling it the 258. I put that on the videos and whatnot, and yeah. Anyway, just kind of a barrage of different things here. Now, I know I did say on one of these I was going to really start diving into things that I think are probably, you know, more functional in game, especially with the present game and potentially in Reforged Eden. So what I'm going to try to do this week is take a little deeper dive into the workshop and find creations for specific roles that I think would be very effective for what they're built to do. And I might even separate that, find 5 creations in one type of category set. Again, doesn't matter with authors. Most of these I've been pulling off from the area of the workshop that has like the most popular over time and things like that. So this other one might not be that, because a lot of those are older creations to start with, and things have changed so much in the game. And then there's a lot of new authors really making some amazing looking stuff, and they didn't have enough time being released to make it into those areas where a lot of these are found at, except with the exception of the Vengeance over there. And then there's a number of other authors I want to take a look at too, known authors or not so known authors that made things that I've seen over time. It's just it's really difficult to find these things later on the workshop. You can't search by author name, and that would be helpful. You got to find something on the workshop made by that author, and then you can get to their workshop But if you don't know the author's name, well, even if you did know the author's name, it doesn't matter, because unless you can find a creation somewhere on the workshop, you can't find their workshop. And that makes it difficult and kind of frustrating a lot of times when you do want to find stuff. I really wish you could just search for an author on the workshop, or an author name. It would be very helpful for a lot of things. Anyway, you all have yourself a good weekend, and I'll be back next week, hopefully with a next video I actually want to do is hopefully after the 258 is finished up, I'm going to take it for some, we'll call it some space trials. I want to see how it performs in the real, well, in the real game world. All right, y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you later.